This is the time of year when parts of my garden start asking for something different. Some plants have reached the end, others are only getting started. And sometimes what I thought I planned changes completely. So I've been learning to work with the garden that I actually have and see where it takes me. The day actually started away from home. We stopped at a nursery that I really like to visit. This time, something other than the plants captured my attention first. Sandhill cranes aren't exactly unusual around here, but I don't think I'll ever get tired of seeing or hearing them. I hadn't gone in with a big shopping plan, but we did end up bringing home a few ornamental sweet potato vines. There were some spots in the garden that weren't working quite the way we'd hoped, and these seemed like they might be a better fit. When we got home, I knew rain wasn't far away, so I went straight to another job I'd been putting off. This GreenStalk has been ready for a change for a while. My Pinkeye Purple Hull cowpeas gave me quite a few harvests this summer, but by now, most of the plants were brown, tired, and very clearly finished. There were still a few pods left though, and I wanted to make sure I collected those before clearing everything away. The stems had also become very popular with some rather large ants. So instead of pulling the plants out and potentially covering myself in ants, which did not sound particularly appealing, I decided to cut them at the soil line instead. I thought I had just enough time to finish before the rain. I did not. At that point, there wasn't much left to do but come inside and wait. And considering how humid it had gotten outside, I really didn't mind the excuse to stop for a few minutes. While the rain continued outside, I started shelling the last of the cowpeas. It wasn't a huge harvest, but I really don't mind that. There's something satisfying about gathering those final few pods and just knowing that nothing the plant gave me went to waste. I'll freeze these with the rest and save them for later. Meanwhile, the sweet potato vines we brought home had already found their new spots. I also grow sweet potatoes for eating in other parts of the garden, but we chose this ornamental variety for a little pop of lime green color rather than a potato harvest. We replaced a few Persian shields that lately hadn't been looking too happy where we'd planted them. It seemed like those spots were probably getting more sun than the shields wanted. So instead of giving up on them, we moved them somewhere else to see if they'd be happier there. I love when a garden plan works exactly the way I imagined it. But one thing I've learned is that sometimes it simply doesn't. Plants respond differently. Weather changes, something thrives where I wasn't expecting it to, while something else struggles in a place that seemed perfect. And then I just get to try something else. The okra has been another lesson in changing plans this year. I really love growing vegetables from seed, and last year I grew my okra that way without much trouble. So naturally, I tried again. This year, every little okra seed I planted eventually shriveled up and died. I still don't know exactly what was different. Florida gives us plenty of heat and humidity that okra usually loves, but gardening can be surprisingly unpredictable, even when you think you're doing something you've done before. We really wanted okra again this year, so my husband eventually picked up a few starter plants. And these are growing beautifully. They're still young, so there isn't any okra to harvest yet, but I'm excited to see what they do. And I haven't given up on growing it from seed again either. By the next morning, everything was still carrying a little evidence of the rain. And of course, the birds were right back to their usual routines. I started this season with certain ideas about what I wanted the garden to look like by now. Some of them worked, some of them definitely didn't. But I don't think that's taken anything away from the experience. The cowpeas had their season, and now they're making room for something new. The Persian shields have another chance somewhere that may suit them better. And the okra is growing, just not quite the way I originally planned. But that's part of what keeps gardening interesting. There's always something changing, something to learn, something new on the horizon. One season ends and another begins. Take care.